Okay.
of the United States
Okay.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Jimmy Keller, do solemnly swear or affirm
Oh,
that I
National
will
Association of
faithfully
Music.
prescribed by law for the office of
So it's
member of
the
the Board of
music
Education,
industry
that I will faithfully, impartially, and
all the
sincerely
manufacturers.
execute that office according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
And you were there.
My daughter works for a company, and I used to be a senior executive for that association.
Yeah, I did have one thing, I signed that.
All right.
Sometimes-
Okay, good evening. This is the Board of Education meeting for which adequate notice under the Open Public Meetings Act was provided by written notice on January 7th, 2020 to the Courier News, the Echo Sentinel, the Star Ledger, Tappan Warren, and the clerks of the Borough of Watchung and the townships of Greenbrook, Long Hill, and Warren. Roll call?
Yeah. Dr. Chand? Mr. Fallon?
Yes.
Mr. Hayek? Mr. Hunsinger? Mr. Morrison?
Here.
Zober?
Here.
Potter?
Here.
Dr. Shabilsky?
Here.
Mr. Bond?
Here.
And Ms. Burrow.
Here. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
For
Second.
the purposes of discussing legal matters, the WHPSA negotiations, the CSA evaluation, after which action may be taken. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, good evening, everybody. We are going to move
That's what I
forward
keep
with our
hearing.
regular agenda.
78, yeah.
What? What did I do?
Couldn't hear you.
Oh, good evening, everybody. We're going to move forward with our regular agenda. Thank you for coming. So first on the agenda is board correspondence. I don't have any board correspondence. So the next thing we have is the superintendent's comments.
So I don't have any comments tonight other than to welcome you all here. This is one of my favorite evenings of the year. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your very busy time of year. The reason you're getting recognized tonight is because all of you are involved and excelling at so many things. So we really appreciate you coming tonight and giving us the opportunity to recognize you publicly as the Board of Education. So I will turn it over.
All right, and I'll echo those sentiments, and we can move forward with Mr. Sykes. Do you have any comments?
No, I'll echo the same thing. Thank you very much for coming. Thanks for all your support. Really appreciate it, and congratulations.
All right, and student representatives.
So you guys do have a report for tonight, correct? So if you want to go up to the lectern, you can give that to all of your classmates.
The Future Business Leaders of America students qualified for state-level testing. The following students have ranked high enough on the regional qualifying test to compete at the state level. Students who win at the state level will be invited to compete nationally. Megan McGee for Accounting 1, Jordan Youngelson for Accounting 2, Andrew Quanzo for Business Calculations, Chris Ionella and Ali DeVico for Economics, Nicholas Yang for Intro to Financial Math, Atharva Kalyanpur and Alicia Lee for Intro to Business, Stephen Chang for Intro to Information Technology, Patricia Sosniak for Journalism, and Moha Trivedi for Political Science. One of our former students, Peter Bosco, class of 2018, was recently offered and accepted to an internship this summer with the U.S. Embassy in Rome within their economic office. Megan McGee, an 11th grader, was selected to join the Somerset County Youth Advisory Board, a peer group from county districts that focuses on substance abuse, mental health, and other community issues. Script and Q held their second cabaret night on January 16, 2020 at 7 p.m. in the PAC. Students sang, acted out sings, and performed comedy. The audience members sat at cabaret-style tables on stage to watch this popular event.
For the sports, the girls basketball, currently 10-1, ranked number 18th in the state.
The team is enjoying a very successful year. Congratulations to Mahogany Jenkins, who was named Skyline Conference Player of the Week by NJ.com. For boys basketball, 14-1. They're ranked 17th in the state. The team is working very hard to keep their impressive record, and congrats to Michael Bressler and Chad Martini for both earning Player of the Week honors. Boys fencing, the boys fencers won both the county and Cetralo Sabre Championships. Ice hockey, the team earned a co-champion title for the 2019 Essex County Holiday Tournament Cody Division. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, nope, that's not it. Winter track. The team continues to travel to the Bennett Center in Toms River as they compete in vigorous meets. Congratulations to Bradley Jelmer for clearing 16.725 in the pole vault event, making him the highest pole vaulter in the country for high school indoor track this season. Our wrestling team kept their county championship title for the third year in a row, and we will be hosting the District 15 wrestling tournament again this year on Saturday, February 22nd, 2020. Now that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you could have a nice full
Okay, so now we're gonna move forward with our student recognition.
Thank you, Mrs. Phelan.
Good evening. I'm pleased on behalf of the Board of Education and the Superintendent to present academic awards this evening. Please hold your applause until I finish with the recognition. The first one is for the USA International Debate Team. One of our seniors, Rupa Arakam, has been selected as a member of the International Debate Team. The team's mission is to foster students' creativity, critical thinking skills, and civic engagement. Members of the U.S. debate team are required to go through an academically rigorous selection process, and being chosen for this team is an incredible honor. Having recently returned from Germany, Rupa is presently preparing to leave for another competition in Singapore next week. She told us that she is learning wonderful things every day from her teammates, and they are all enjoying accumulating multiple stamps on their passports. We are delighted she is in New Jersey this evening to accept our award for following her passion, working so hard, and mentoring younger students at Whrhs Hills. She was right there. You disappeared. How are you? Deepa Arakam, a senior, and Rupa's twin, earned the National Speech and Debate Association's Academic All-American Award. This award recognizes academic rigor, competitive speaking ability, debate success, and personal excellence. For more than 141,000 students from the National Speech and Debate Association, fewer than 1% of the students earn the title Academic All-American annually. We are all pleased to applaud Deepa's outstanding accomplishment this evening, and we are very grateful for her leadership in founding the Whrhs Hills Speech and Debate Club with her sister, Rupa. And now I'd like to move to the Regeneron Science Talent Search. Some of you may know it because it started in 1942 as the Westinghouse Science Talent Search. It is the nation's now most prestigious science and mathematics competition. The search recognizes outstanding seniors for incredible ideas that can solve society's most urgent problems. Tonight, we are proud to recognize one of our own, Jagdeep Bhatia, who has been named a semifinalist in the competition. He is one of 300 students out of a possible 2,000 entrants. His research is difficult to quantify, but it involves rethinking the world as we know it. His work extends machine learning algorithms beyond what we know as facial recognition. He quantifies transformative possibilities, including a possible factory worker's acceptance of a robot's intelligence, as well as creating an idea for an operating room where surgical tools could adapt to an individual patient's anatomy. In recognition of this achievement, Jagdeep will receive a $2,000 honorarium, and Watchung Hills will also receive a grant to empower our students who are engaged in STEAM-related activities. This week, Jagdeep could also be named a finalist and be invited to Washington, D.C. to receive another honorarium in the form of a college scholarship. Best wishes, Jagdeep. And finally, for the academic awards this evening, the 2020 National Merit Scholarship Program is an academic competition for national recognition and college scholarships. High school students enter the National Merit Program by taking the PSAT National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test during their junior year, a test which serves as an initial screening of approximately 1.5 million entrants annually. And by meeting a published selection index in New Jersey and other participation requirements, including extracurricular achievements, academic achievements, and leadership positions. This year, we are proud of 4 Watchung Hills seniors who have qualified as semi-finalists. Please join me in congratulating them this evening. They are Philip Ding, Dave Key, Jessica Young, and Vivian Zhang. Thank you. So only Philip is able to be here tonight. Maybe they're working on their academic and leadership positions.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Phelan. Mr. Bertelli?
Good evening. I'd like to present students with the co-curricular and arts achievements. Whrhs Model UN Conference. From December 5th to the 8th, the WHRHS Model UN participated in the Institution for Domestic and International Affairs to simulate the actions of the United Nations. 16 of our 20 students represented Sudan in the General Assembly and specialized agencies, while the other 4 delegates represented various members of regional bodies and advanced communities such as the Arab League, the Sri Lankan Council of Ministries, and the 1992 Ukrainian Cabinet. After 4 days of debate, 7 of our 20 delegates were recognized for their outstanding efforts in their individual committees. Jacob Weber and Arjun Singh were recognized for the best delegation in the UN Department of Political Affairs Committee representing Sudan. Shiv Goel and Mahika Iyer were recognized as the distinguished delegation in the World Bank Committee representing Sudan. Ilyana Sussner and Vanish Harkwat were recognized as the most improved delegation in the UN Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization Committee representing Sudan. And Moha Trivedi was recognized as the outstanding delegate in the Arab League Committee representing Tunisia. Congratulations. The College of New Jersey Honor Band and Orchestra. All students that participated in the TCNJ Honors Band or Orchestra were accepted upon recommendation from the participating director. Students attended rehearsals on November 17th and 23rd, with a concert held on the 23rd. Students worked with NCNJ faculty in rehearsal and sectionals to prepare for the performance held on the evening of November 23rd. Participant in the TCHNJ Honors Band is John Santucci, percussion. Nice work, John. Congratulations. Participants in the TCHNJ Honors Orchestra are Ronald Luong, cello, Harrison Lavelle, violin, and Emma Luong, viola. Nice job. Ronald, congratulations. Nice job. CJMEA Region 2 Symphonic Band, Orchestra, and Wind Ensemble. The CJMEA regional auditions are held every December for students actively participating in an accredited ensemble class in high school. Students prepare scales, solos, and sight reading for adjudicated judging. Students with highest score are accepted into the region symphonic band or orchestra. These students show high proficiency in playing their primary instrument through the highly competitive process. The following students were accepted. Shiv Goel was accepted to the Region 2 Symphonic Band for the French horn, and Stanley Liu was accepted to the Region 2 Orchestra for the violin. And finally, the Marching Warriors. The WHRHS Marching Warriors had one of their best seasons to date. During the 2019 fall season, the Marching Warriors took first place in Group AA competition at Roxbury, first place in Group 4A at Somerville, and first place in the Group 4A at the Yamaha Cup. The Marching Warriors finished the season coming in fourth in Group 4A at States this year. Additionally, the Marching Warriors took a new approach to competition using custom athletic tops and changes to the Shako, which added to an overall success to the ensemble this season. Our Marching Warriors are Grace Elizabeth Alto, Jake Bellotti, Jasper Bontamase, Sarah Bronco, Ryan Britton, Ian French, Jenna Hansen, Brennan Hector, Sarah Jardim, Abigail Cohen, Joy Langston, Christopher Larson, Harrison Lavelle. Guys, stay up here once you've collected your certificate, please. Martina Lavender, Raymond Lavender, Dennis Lee, George Lunes, Catherine Lunes, Nicole Locasico, Evelyn Logan, Jason Lynn, Alexander Martino, Hannah Miller, Bryn Montoro, Manthan Naik, Jack Onifer, Eric Peterson, Erin Pinto, Joshua Rubin, Mega Saju, John Santucci, Marissa Shipani, Jeremy Shamai, Kobe Tam, Alexander Tortorelio, Elizabeth Vreeland, Catherine Vreeland, and Kevin Yabao. I'm personally very proud of this group. They had an outstanding season. Congratulations, Marching Warriors and the staff, under direction of Mr. Paul McCullen. Congratulations, guys. Great season.
Next time we'll have them perform a little ditty for us.
If If any student who received a letter for recognition of a co-curricular activity who is here and your name has not been called, please come up now. What's your name? Mark?
Jen, can't you help her with this?
What's your last name?
Bruno. Oh, marching band. Can I announce him, please?
We'd like to add Mark Bruno to the marching band. Once again, the Marching Warriors 2019. Congratulations, guys. I'd like to now introduce Mr. Dan Root for athletics.
You can go back to your seats. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Single file.
I know. Yes, that's true. They're
This
used
is
to
the marching band.
On behalf of the Board of Education, I have the pleasure of presenting these certificates to our student athletes that earned recognition for the 2019 fall athletic season. I'll call individuals up by sport. I would ask at that point in time that you stay here for a brief second, and then if you would hold your applause until we have everyone from that particular sport. Sometimes there's only one per sport, and I'll identify that. We start first with cross country. Our first athlete, first team all conference, second team all group 4, third team all state, Laura Bayens. And all conference honorable mention, Ethan Steyer. Let's hear it for our cross country athletes. Field hockey, we only have one, so we can applaud immediately. Second team all conference, all county honorable mention, Kylie Tuma. Next, we have football. We have several of these, so again, I would ask that you would hold your applause, that the football players would remain here until I have called all of the names. Our first athlete, all conference honorable mention, John Bechtel.
I know.
We have a challenging time following directions. It's fine. I do as well. First team all conference, first team all area, third team all state, and first team all group 4, Clem Cafaro. Who's not here? That was a lot of things to call with him not being here. First team all conference, Anthony Leone. First team all group 4, Spencer Ostroff. First team all conference, second team all area, Andrew Russo. And second team all conference, Taryn Stevens. Let's hear it for our football players. Gymnastics, only one, so again, we can applaud immediately. First team all conference, Rebecca Boo Brady. Girls soccer. Second team all conference, Patricia DePinho. First team all conference, Emily Morris. And second team all conference, Rebecca Schell.
Is that everybody doing?
That's everybody for the girls soccer, but I'll take it. Let's hear it for our girls soccer players. Girls tennis, only one, all conference honorable mention, Alice Chi. And volleyball, also almost only one, second team all conference, Elizabeth Colleen. If there is anyone here for athletic honors whose name I did not call, please come forward at this time. All right, thank you and congratulations.
Don't feel guilty if you don't want to stay for the rest of our meeting. You're more than welcome to, but now is a good pause if you would like to go home.
Okay, now this is the first opportunity for public comment. The first public comment period will be limited to agenda items for this meeting only. The second public comment period will be open to any topic. All comments are limited to 5 minutes. Do we have any public comment on the agenda items? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into board discussion. I just wanted everybody to see in their packets the Board of Education 2020 committee assignments. One of the things I thought we could discuss a little bit, the 3 top ones are our traditional standing committees, and negotiations is also more of a standing committee, even though it's ad hoc. It does meet more regularly. The strategic plan is new. In terms of the role of the strategic plan committee versus the whole board participating in the strategic plan, we kind of have to have a little, I think we should have a little discussion about what the consultant suggested some ideas. So I don't know, Liz, if you wanted to.
So the consultant that is on the agenda to be approved tonight, I have a meeting set up with her for next week so that we can talk about timeline, talk about the role of the board committee. But we talked about things like, vetting certain things like the timelines, surveys, different pieces of the process through the committee, who can then, just like we do with the other committees, then share with the rest of the board for input and feedback. So I will get more details from her when we meet next week, but that was the just brief vision we spoke about a little bit for it.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Also on the committee assignment sheet is the representative assignments. The Somerset Educational Services Commission, Peter has volunteered to do that. It is something that we haven't always, where's that timeline? That we haven't always filled. But the meetings are more like every 2 months or so. So at this point, Peter said he would do it unless somebody else has a dying need, right, Peter?
Absolutely. I was glad to step aside. Liz, could you send me that schedule?
Yes, absolutely.
And then everything else is self-explanatory. In terms of the township liaisons, we don't have anybody for Watchung, so I don't know. Neither of our Watchung.
We don't
people
have
are
anyone
here.
from Watchung here tonight.
So I don't know if either one of them will want to do it. Again, that's just sort of, all of the representative assignments are sort of things that, you go to it, come back, let us know what's going on, if there's something important in the town going on, something important happened at a Somerset County School Board Association committee meeting, that kind of thing. And then the chairs of the committees in concert, I guess, with the administration, set the committee agendas.
Mhm.
So, and set the times and try to figure out the best times and dates for everybody to come to those committee meetings.
So I have a question here, or
Sure.
a suggestion. Could I be shifted from personal to education committee?
Well, I made the decisions right now.
We'd have too many.
We
Oh, I
would
see.
have too
Okay.
many if I do that, so I have to put everybody somewhere, so.
Oh, I see. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just suggesting if there's a possibility somebody wants to come here.
Okay, well, if you can find somebody who wants to switch with you.
Well, unfortunately, because I'm a new person, I do not
Like, for
know.
example, I don't know, it's hard, cause like I tried to get everybody like in
Okay,
a couple committees, right?
that's
what
fine.
I was trying
I
to
just,
do.
just thought
Yep.
that I could
Okay.
make better contribution there. Okay.
All right, no problem. And then that's all I really have for board discussion. And then if anybody, unless anybody has anything else for board discussion, we just
Yeah, I
move
do-
on
I do
to
have few
discussion
points
of
here.
addendum items.
Yeah,
Sure.
so the item A3, A4,
Okay, so discussion of agenda item A3.
that's what you meant, right? Board discussion, right?
Yep.
So in A3, A4, I see that for the club, we are providing them transportation, registration fee. But I'm wondering, why shouldn't we allocate some funds for some materials they may need to buy, some components, some equipment, So I was wondering that whether it is possible to allocate some, say, $5,000 for their, you don't know what they might need, when you have to build something. You might need some component, you might need some test equipment, and I don't see any provision here for that.
Yeah, just so you know, Naresh, we budget each year $15,000
Okay.
for robotics, for the fees, for the robotics fees. In general, they, when it comes to the building, they usually go out and they get some donations and whatnot, but they do have a fairly active group, the Wheat Foundation. That's kind of I guess for lack of a better word, a booster club. They do quite a bit of fundraising and do a nice job to support that. But the board does pay, unlike on most of our other clubs, they pay $15,000 for the fees. So that's,
Right, so each club doesn't necessarily get $15,000.
Correct.
they're the
They're the
only
only
ones
Okay.
who get it.
Okay, so the other club, for
The
example,
fees.
like the debate club or something like that, if they have a fee for a competition, how does
Yeah.
that work?
Most of them will fundraise on their own
Okay.
to do that. Certain things we'll spend money for travel, like transportation to get them somewhere. Or if the teacher has to leave, we'll have a substitute. But yeah, robotics gets,
They actually get more than most of the
they
other
do,
clubs.
yeah.
But this is different, they need tools. This is capital intensive project. And these people, when they're raising funds, they end up spending their energy in raising funds as opposed to really building the robot. So I'm wondering that whether it's a very small amount of, compared to our total budget, right? So this club needs more resources in terms of building the real thing.
Well, I think that there's advisors in the clubs,
Yeah,
right?
so they meet with us to talk to us about what they need and,
Okay,
so,
I see, okay. So I have item number 8, A8 and A9. So I see that you provide this bedside instruction. So normally I see that for other students you provide 10 hours, but when A8 is only 5 hours. Is that sufficient?
It depends on whether the student under the code is a regular education student or
I
a
see.
special education
Right,
student. That's
okay.
the difference.
I see. So that's why.
Yep.
Also, item A9, here we are paying $100 per hour as opposed to $50 per hour in all other cases.
it depends on the cost of the particular placement.
I see.
Right.
Okay. Then I have a question C3. The C3, Mrs. Sharp, right? So the maternity leave is only for a short period?
So personnel, the purpose of the personnel was to make the discussion in executive session,
Okay,
because it's a personnel issue.
I see.
It may be best, maybe if she has a specific question to talk to Beth offline.
But it's only 15 days maternity leave. I mean, is that something? Is sufficient?
Again, we'd rather talk about
Okay,
individual personnel items
Okay.
in closed session.
Now the last item, D11. So we are recommending here.
Did you say D11?
Yeah. The strategic plan consulting contract.
Mhm.
So the deliverable are not defined here. What are the deliverable? When we are paying so much money, what are they going to deliver us? It is not defined here.
It's in the proposal that they submitted to us that the board committee evaluated,
I see.
which you can come in and see a copy of if you would like.
Thank you. That's all. I'm done.
Okay.
And Rita? And just related to that, Naresh, we did have a board committee that went through the proposals. We interviewed the folks that were coming forward with proposals. Those proposals were scored and rated, and we unanimously agreed to recommend to the board to approve this evening this particular vendor.
Okay. That's it. I'm done.
Okay. Does anybody else have any discussions on addendum items? Okay, seeing none.
Madam President, I'd like to move items A1 through A4 and A12 through A14.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Stiles,
Any
unless there's
discussion?
any discussion on the agenda items. Roll call, Mr. Stiles.
Okay, Dr. Chand,
Yes. Approved.
Mr. Fallon,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mrs. Ober,
Yes.
Ms. Potter,
Yes.
Dr. Shabilsky, Ms. Raban,
Yes.
and Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Okay, motion's carried.
Madam President, I'd like to move items A5 through A11.
Second.
Any questions or comments on A5 through A11? Hearing none. Mr. Stiles, roll call.
Dr. Chand,
Yes.
Mr. Fallon,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mrs. Ober,
Yes.
Dr. Shabilsky,
Yes.
Ms. Raban,
Yes.
and Ms. Barone.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Madam President, I'd like to move items C1 through C23.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All right, hearing none.
Okay, Dr. Chand,
Yes.
Mr. Fallon,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mrs. Ober,
Yes.
Ms. Potter,
Yes.
Dr. Shabilsky,
Yes.
Ms. Raban,
Yes.
and Ms. Barone.
Yes.
Okay, motion's carried.
Madam President, I'd like to move items D1 through D9 and D11.
Second.
Any questions or comments on those agenda items? Okay.
Dr. Chand, Mr. Fallon,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Ms. Ober,
Yes.
Ms. Potter,
Yes.
Dr. Shabilsky,
Yes.
Ms. Raban,
Yes.
and Ms. Barone.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Madam President, I'd like to move item D10.
Second.
Any questions or comments on D10? Okay, hearing none.
Dr. Chand,
Yes.
Mr. Fallon,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mrs. Ober,
Yes.
Dr. Shabilsky,
Yes.
Ms. Raban,
Yes.
and Ms. Barone.
Yes.
Motion's carried. Motion carries.
Alright. Now we have the second opportunity for public comment, which can be on anything. All right, hearing none. Other business, just also in your folders, you'll see the meeting schedule of events in there, like what we need to do. I just thought it would be good to get everybody to look at this so that we kind of remain on schedule. As you can see, being in January, the application did review the preliminary budget numbers, and next meeting we'll have a report from operations. We did our committee assignments, we did all our elections, we did the student recognition, and you'll see exactly what we're doing going forward, just to get a handle on that. You'll see in March is our board goal-setting retreat, so we'll have to pick a date for that. We'll come up with some dates next meeting. And then I talked to Dr. Jewett about continuing right now with our board training, which was our goal from last time. And I don't know if anybody
We
spoke
reached
with,
out, we haven't
with
heard
Mike
back.
Calver
We reached out to him.
to do an ethics training for us, and then maybe a training about our role in the area of evaluating personnel. So that I just think those are big areas that we could all use refreshers, more training on, because the concepts are sort of, they get gray sometimes. What else is in? So then, this was just in everybody's packet?
Yes, about school start times.
Okay, just about school
additional
start times. Okay, so take a look at that. Certainly, I think that, we'll see, but it sounds like that's probably gonna be part of it.
I would hope so.
Any other business?
Madam President,
Yes,
I have a couple items or a couple questions.
sure.
First is, and this is either for you or Dr. Jewett, is there any update on the exploration of the feasibility study on consolidation with the sending districts?
So on Friday, I have my monthly regional roundtable with the 4 K-8s, and so that's on the agenda.
Passed, great, thank you. Also, just a note for the board that the mental health screenings legislation that I mentioned at the last board meeting would pass both the Assembly and the Senate, is now sitting on the governor's desk. That's the bill that will require mental health screening for students through certain grades, including those grades here at Watchung Hills Regional.
How much did they budget for that?
The normal amount that they budget for any unfunded mandate from the state.
Mr. Morrison, I'm not sure, I did get a legislative update that he, you may be aware of this, that today he pocket vetoed it.
Oh, I did not hear that.
So, yeah, so I just got that shortly before the meeting from our NJSA legislative update, which means he didn't veto it, but he didn't sign it.
But then if he doesn't sign it within 10 days, it becomes law?
So that's now where beyond what I am aware of that, but so that's what it says on here. The legislation must start over if the sponsors wish to proceed.
Oh, got it, okay, thank
So
you.
I did just get that.
So it's a redo, is that essentially?
Sounds like a redo.
Yes, so.
Yeah, I mean, the funding is gonna be, it's like, we would have to. Yeah.
I know.
The third item that I have is related to a discussion that I started with the superintendent regarding Watchung Hills Regional High School's participation in the Garden State Coalition of Schools. We had previously been a member, I think up until 5 or 6 years ago. And with all the activity that's going on in Trenton right now and things regarding funding, and particularly funding opportunities that may be of positive benefit to us, I thought it was worth revisiting the discussion on whether or not we as a board believe that it would be beneficial to us to be a member again of the Garden State Coalition of Schools. For those who are not familiar with the coalition, they are basically a representative group of schools like Watchung Hills who have been working together to make sure that as the state is exploring equity funding for districts across the state, that districts like ours do not find ourselves in the position where we're being shortchanged of revenue that should rightfully be coming to us. So that's an item for discussion, but I defer to the superintendent for any additional comment.
So, is it cost money to be part of it?
Yes. I'm not sure what the current dues are.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know offhand.
I can find out some more information and
Yeah.
distribute that to the board in
Yeah.
terms of what they're about, what the cost would be.
Okay.
And I don't know if the superintendent have any thoughts about that.
Not at the moment. I think, certainly the board can explore if membership in it, they feel would be valuable to the district. So what I'll do is I'll get some information to distribute to the whole board. And Bob, certainly if you have anything too that you'd like me to share with the whole board, but I'll reach out to, I know the superintendents who oversee it, so I can ask them for some literature.
And who it's a situation where board member, if you wanted to pay the dues and then we would just have a representative
They have meetings.
appointed to go to the meeting and report back?
They
Or
have
how
a
does it work?
well, they have a core kind of executive council of districts that they rotate. But I believe anyone can actually attend the meetings to listen. You just can't necessarily participate if you're kind of like a board meeting.
So.
And they meet
And
monthly.
once you're a member, then you would have to get elected to the executive.
No,
They have
actually-
officers, but they rotate the districts that kind of serve in
okay.
that capacity.
Yeah, usually the meetings themselves are open to any, member districts. So you can go, and actually participate, but if there's a particular action that they do as a group, largely falls along the lines of the executive committee. And it is a mix of both board members and superintendents that
And then
participate.
do they have policies so that they can advocate on those policies to legislators? Is that essentially what it is?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
So are there policies available for us to look at before we join? to
I can share
understand what
their web. They
policies
have a
are?
website that has that information.
I think
on
that
it,
would be
so-
important. I think to figure out if we want to join, we want to know if our
See what their positions are.
if our positions align with theirs, right?
So I'll send that out to the board.
Okay.
Great. And then the last item, and I apologize for having so many items tonight. I know that we've all been in receipt of some correspondence from the public regarding some recent concerts. And I was wondering if the superintendent had thought about where the appropriate place would be for us to have discussions about that. Maybe Ed Committee to start, or
Yes, I thought Ed Committee would actually be the best place. So as chair of Ed Committee, if you agree with that, it'll go on the agenda.
okay, great. That's it. Thank you.
Anything else? Does anybody have other business to discuss?
I just wanted to let the rest of the board know that Tim is setting up a meeting with Greenbrook so we can do the negotiation of the next send-receive agreement with Greenbrook.
Oh, and just so the rest of the board knows, Peter had started that already before he stepped down, and he said, "Do you want me to continue?" And I said, "Yes." So he's a kind of a committee of one. I think that's fine.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Peter.